Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, August 31st. August is almost over. Very, very sad. And today we will go over Group A guesstimates to see, again, what we think they're going to pay heading into the week because they will declare on the Wednesday. Actually, I did not even pull the calendar up. I probably should, right? Let me do that for you guys. All right, here you go. Here is the YieldMax website. Hopefully the audio is loud and clear on both YouTube and X. So if we go to the distribution schedule and you scroll down, and you find, where's September? Here we go, Group A, weekly payers and Group A, they will declare on September 3rd, ex-dividend date, September 4th, payment date is September 5th. So that should be the Wednesday, the Thursday, and the Friday. So obviously, if you wanted to wait to see what they actually declare on the Wednesday, you still have the whole day to buy into the fund and will qualify for the distributions. Today's video is just for fun. You know, we're just playing around with numbers, seeing what they're going to pay. Hope for the best. All right. Just like last week, I did not fill in anything. So I'm going to do it as we go. And again, if you guys tell me otherwise, if you like it the other way, feel free to chime in. So let's start with our boy TSLY. Last two payments, they paid around 38 and 30 cents. So what we're going to do, we always look at a few things. What should I need to zoom out? Yeah, maybe I'll zoom out. Let me try 175. Boom. Yeah, that's probably better. Okay, so they actually went up about 48 cents per share. Again, this is from 8/4 up until this past Friday. Obviously, adding back in the distribution, which it would have dropped on ex-dividend date. Freaking hair in my mouth. But so anyway, that's the gain on the the price per share. Now we're going to go into the TSLY file and see, what kind of money they made. Basically, well, again, we just go here. Okay, so down here, our synthetic on paper, it's worth $1.03. Again, we talked about this. So we feel like we're going to get something a little more than the IV because the IV sits around 24 and 26. Income estimate 9 cents. So I'm going to keep this $1.03 in mind before, again, we're going to give them an estimate. So just looking at the price, actually price fluctuation, if we put in 48, let's see what that would yield. That would be a 79% yield, which is pretty good, honestly. And that's more than the last three payments. So I don't think that would be bad at all. I just don't know. They're not paying $1, obviously. 50. This is a tough one. I think I'm like 44 cents range. 44 cents would be a 70. Still in the 70s. Yeah, I don't think they're dropping the 30. I think well, they've been at 30. I think they're going to be in the 40 range. 42. I want to give them 70% yield. 43 cents. Yeah, I'm going to give them 43 cents. That's a 71% yield. All right, up next is OARC. They went up in price by 25 cents. So let's take a look at how much they moved. Again, right here, what we track is, all of the trades, because, I download them every single day, right? These are all of the trades added up, the net realized income. If it's a positive value here, that just means it's an overall loss, which is why you don't see anything over here, because there's no reason to calculate how much they earn per share if the realized income was an overall loss. So for OARC, no income to spare here, but we will look at the synthetic and see if that's doing okay, or see if there's any, hidden income right there that they have on paper. And they do have about 58 cents per share on paper. So It's better than nothing. So let's go back to, the distribution file. Again, we have the IV, which is working, so that's good. So again, if we put it in line with the last payment, let's see what that yields. That yields about 55%. Again, going back here, they have about 58 cents caught up there. Yeah, it's going to be tough to keep it in line. It's going to be in the same range, I think. It's just a matter of, is it, higher or lower than the last payment? And I think it's going to be lower. I'm going to go with lower. I'm going to give them a 35-cent payment. Oof. Yeah, for 35 cents. That's a 52% yield. We'll go with that. All right, up next is GUI. Going down the line. Again, they moved up $1.16 in share price. So that's pretty damn good. Now we'll go to this file and see how we doing. We go to the group's value tab. Where's GUI? Oh, unfortunately, they did not have an overall income. It was an overall loss. And their holdings does not want to work. So let's hit a refresh right here. Oh, that didn't work either. Keep in mind, every time I refresh, I got to type in that. Well, no, I don't have to do. No, this is not the 175 sheet. All right, so I can't check GUI's, synthetic income on paper, unfortunately. So we will have to just use the IV. Look at the IV, 31%, and then look at this, $1.16. So I mean, yeah, they'll probably increase it. Let's see what we do. 48 cents would be a 45% yield. Yeah, that's more than. Wow, it's more than 1, 2, 4, 6, more than the last 8 payments. So yeah, why not, right? Because again, they did move up in share price by $1.16. So I'm assuming their synthetic on paper is actually worth a crap. So 48 cents, is that too generous? Maybe we give them 46, just judging by historical payments. All right, up next is your boy Zomo. Zomo, how you doing? Well, they went up 43 cents if you care. And we're going to go to the group's value tab. Zomo, no income for them either, but we will look at their synthetic on the paper. Wow, $1.09. So that's pretty damn sweet. So they are, essentially holding back $1.09 in income on the synthetic. Now let's see. Again, they paid 22 cents last time. They went up in share price 43, and we saw their synthetic income. So this is probably going to be an increase from the prior payment. If we do the high 20s, like a high 28-cent payment, how does that compare to the yield? To the IV, we don't know because the IV is currently not updating, unfortunately. If I look at the last 4 payments, there was occasions where they paid in the 30s and occasions where they paid in the 20s. So yeah, which one will it be this time? Again, I'm going to go with high 20s because I don't think Zomo ever does impress with their payments. All right, YBIT, again, YBIT, I'm not sure what everyone's thoughts on YBIT are, but again, when we look at the holdings, I'll show you something in a second, but in share price, they went down 54 cents, all right? So if we go over here and we go to the group's value, where is it at? YBIT, they made money, but only 2 cents per share. So that's really not going to do anything. Now, again, YBIT does not hold a put right now. And I did ask about it and I forget the answer, so I apologize. They only have the long call, which is down here, which is very valuable, right? So again, how and why? Again, I don't know. I forget. So if you guys have that answer or remember what the answer to the question was, feel free to let me know. But right now, again, just the long call, it is worth $4.18 per share. That's ridiculous. So YBIT, I'm showing, could pay out, a nice payment, right? A really nice payment, but they probably won't. Just judging on history, last payment was 54 cents. It'll probably be in that range though. So I'm going to give them, let's see if we give them 55. Yeah, that comes to a similar yield. Look at their IV, 38%. Again, tough one. 50. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna keep it in line, 55 cents. Again, it's hard to. I, I mean, they could pay $1 for all we know. I'm not sure what if you guys hear that banging upstairs, but anyway, YBIT 55 cents. Is that again? Look at the last 3 payments. Look at the last payments. When's the last time they paid over $1? It's been a long time. So as much I'd like to give them a boost, I just I don't see it. So sorry. I want YBIT to be a great alternative to the Misty Fund, right? But it's just not. All right, let's look at Snowy right now. How you doing, Snowy? Snowy went up 166 per share. I mean, hello, that's beautiful. Now let's go over here. Let's check out the group's value. How you doing? Oh, this is again recognized, aka realized income, $1.51. So again, doing very good. Now let's look at the synthetic. The current synthetic on paper is worth 74 cents. So that's 3 for 3, baby. All right, their synthetic's worth something. They made a realized income, and they did move up in share price. So this is going to be a good payment. This is going to be, this is the triple whammy, the triple threat here. What are we going to give them? Their 30-day IV is 34%. Should at least double it, right? Should give them like 65 cents. What do you think? Yeah, that's not double. Well, we give them 70 cents. Oh, how generous are we going to be on this one? 71 cents. You like that 71 cents? Still not double. Question is, do we want to really double? Do we want to be brash? We kind of do, because we are brash over here. That's almost double. 85 cents would be a 65% yield. Any guesses on Snowy, guys? Again, I think they're going to pay something decent. 85 cents is decent. Look at the last payment, 45. Paying before that, 47. Again, they did pay over $1 twice before that, but they're at a $17 range. So yeah, I can't give them $1, man. I don't know. It could happen though. It could happen. I think 85 cents is respectable though. All right, up next is your boy TSMY. They went down in share price by 30 cents. If we go to the group's value, they did generate income, but only 3 cents per share. So that's not going to make you too excited. Then we go to the synthetic, and it's 12 cents per share. All right. So again, when you get stuff like that, I just default to the IV. Again, their last payment was massive. I don't think it's going to be massive this time. So if we give them 61 cents, that would be, 52% yield. Their IV is 30, maybe 59 cents. 50% yield. Yeah, because look, how much, I don't want to drop them too much in distribution, but hey, you never know, man. You never know, bro. You never know. This is, again, it's tough doing it. It's definitely tough doing it live, but I think it's a little, you guys can obviously see my thought process, assuming you give a crap, of course. But it's just, I'm not hiding any secret freaking formulas. I'm just showing you everything I'm looking at. 59, 50% yield. Yeah, it's probably going to be lower, to be honest. 57. Yeah, I feel better in the 40% yield range. But all right, we'll go with that. Again, it's probably going to be lower. But what the hell do I know? All right, up next is BRKC. Wow, they went up $1.70. How you doing? Pretty damn good. All right, so let's take a look at the group's value for BRKC. Negative. Like I said, they did not make any realized income. However, let's go to the Tabaruni here and see how they doing. What do they got in the synthetic? Holy! Oh yeah, look at that. That's a nice one right there. Wow. So their synthetic is a 475. BRK.B, the underlying, right? That's the underlying. Yep. It's funny. I guess this download cannot put dots in there. But whatever, man. It's 502. So obviously, this synthetic on paper is worth 293. Oof. Okay, so we got that. We got synthetic on the paper, and we got movement in the share price, but we do not have any realized income. So I think it's going to be higher than the last payment. Let's see if we put 65 cents. Yeah, I think it's going to be 70 range. What do you got? 73, 19% yield. I mean, why not, man? Look at it. Look at it. They went up $1.70 in share price. They ain't going to pay $1. There's no freaking way. Are they going to yield 20%? Maybe. Look at the IV, though. Again, keep in mind the IV is 14%. All right, that's super duperty. But you figure, again, their first payment 50, their second payment 60, and the third payment 70. I think that's a pretty good track record, and I'm going to go with it. I'm staying with it, and that's that. All right, up next is RBLY. I don't even know when they launched. When the hell did they launch? Do I have the date? Oh, yeah, here it is. All right, July 28th. Oh, yeah, they're 100% going to pay. All right, let me just see how much they moved up in price. This is, well, this is the price as of 8/4. This is not as of launch, but launch, yeah, so their price is probably up a little more than launch, so I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm not changing this formula. Last time I did that, I forgot about it, so I'm not doing that. So, all right, so they did go up $1.31 or more. Let's take a look at the group's value for our boy. They made $1.05. Wow, I was going to say only 26,000, but they don't have many outstanding shares, so that came to $1.05. If I check out the synthetic on the paper, as they say, oh damn, 201. Wow. Okay, so they're doing well. This fund is doing well so far. So they're going to pay out a pretty penny. Again, $50 fund, and they're up. Let's see what if I plug in 150. Oh no, it's going to be, dude. Yeah, so we're looking at 220. That seems a little high, actually. Let's go back real quick. So this was at what? 201. Group's value 105. All right. Yeah. I don't know if they're getting in the twos, man. 195. That would be a 48. That's in the IV. You know what? First payment. They may want to shine. Give them a 203. There you go. 50% yield. Respectable. All right. Up next is Crash. Nobody's boy. That's nobody's boy. That's for sure. Look at the fund. They're at 410. Oh my God. All right. That hurts. They're down 25 cents. So ouchie. How's the group's value for Crash? They actually made 11 cents. All right, progress. And what's their synthetic doing? That's the question. Well, he ain't doing crap, so that ain't going to help. So we're going to give them a nice crappity doodah payment. Their last three payments were 25, 21, and 19. I'm going to give them like 18. What do you think that yield is? 57%. You know what? I'll give them 17. I don't want to drop it too much because sometimes these inverses, they always surprise me. So we'll go with 17 cents, which is a 53% yield. All right, feet and FIVY. All right, feet and FIVY. Smelly as feet and FIVY. All right, so let's go to feet. What the hell is feet? Feet is the one that owns, you know, the Dorsey Wright funds, at least the ones that YieldMax has. You know, the yielding ones, the ones that pay the yield. This is not the one that includes both. Okay. So if we go over here, again, all we do is we get the implied volatility and then we average it out for those funds. And the average IV on this is 44%. And then you multiply 44% times the price of feet, which is $34, and divide by 13 payments. And then you get $1.16. So let's go back to the file. If we plug in $1.16, what is that yield? That's a 44% yield. If we look at the last three payments, $1.12, $1.44, $1.35, $1.16 actually does make sense with a 44% yield. Will they juice it up just a little bit? Maybe. Yeah, we could probably squeeze in like $1.21 or something. Let's see what that yields. 46%. Yeah, that'll be okay. $1.21. So we'll go with that. All right. Up next is FIVY. How you doing? All right. Where you at? Where's the tab? Again, FIVY. That's the hybrid version of the Dorsey Wright funds. this is where they own not only the YieldMax fund for those, but they own the actual underlying. So obviously they own Coney, I'm sorry, and they own Coin, and then Sivney. Why the hell is Carvana in here? Good God, come on, Dorsey, right? You can do better than that. They got Hui, and then Robin the Hood, Netflix, YBIT, and Bitto. All right, get it? Makes sense. All right. So anyway, what do I do then? All right. So I get the IV of, the various underlyings. Okay. So Netflix, Hood, Carvana. Why is Bitto blank? All right. Bitto doesn't want to pick up, so we don't know their IV. Beautiful. Whatever. So the average IV, at least of the ones that are working, is 45%. Now, what do we do from there? Well, again, same thing, 45% times the price divided by 13. The only difference is over here, I take what percent is the fund currently holding of the ones that actually pay a distribution, the YieldMax funds. So it's 56% YieldMax funds. So I take the $1.32, I multiply that by 56%, and then I get 75-cent payment. Let's see how that aligns with the prior payment. I mean, that's super low compared to the prior payment. But I do notice that FIVY does pay more than expected all the time. So let's see, where'd it go? All right, so 85 cents, what would that yield? That would yield 29%. That's probably not going to happen. They may pay $1 again. They paid $1.19 last time. Did they ever pay under $1? Yes, they have. Okay. All right. So it is possible that they do pay, because again, look at the guesstimate yield, 46, 29, 91 be a little, I gotta stop doing that. 91 cents would be a what? A 31% yield. Yeah, we'll give them that. It's a little generous, to be honest, but it's okay. It's okay. All right. So that's the guesstimate on Group A. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments. Again, we have 384 of you. A little light on this. Well, it is a holiday weekend after all. So what do I expect? But regardless, I still have the estimates from last time. I got to take these out. All right, so now we're going to do the weeklies. So YMAX, YMAG, and all that jazz. All right, so anyway, yeah, feedback is welcome, by the way. Do you like me showing you or going through? It's not taking that long, I don't think. Do you like as I go through, I do that guesstimate with you guys? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. All right, let's go to YMAX, because again, YMAX, they're going to pay based on what Group D paid. And I have this fancy little calculation over here to the right, which I'm not going to get into, but basically I'm going to pick up this number. It's going to show what? 14 cents. All right. And I might as well pick up YMAG while I'm over here. And they show 13 cents. All right. So let's look at the prior payments. Again, it's bunched up into one formula, because again, it's for the 4 weeks. Each cell has a 4-week payment in there. So YMAX paid what? 11, 16, and 13. So 13 is actually, it actually makes sense. So should I keep him at 13? Yeah, I guess I should. So let's do, we'll leave that. And then we'll do this one. Let me just check YMAX, 16, 14, and then 11. So how's 12? I think 12 is good. Although they're priced higher than Y. I don't know. What do you guys think? They're priced higher than YMAX. So they may have a higher payment. What was their last Group D payment? Let's see. 14 for YMAX and 7. Damn. All right. So I'm going to keep these. I like them. I'm going to do copy. And I'm going to do paste special values. And that way these stay in there. All right. Makes sense? Okay, great. LFGY, how you doing? Well, again, what do? We just go to here. This is the download. All right, we go right to the freaking download. And what are they holding? Number one, at least they hold this degenerate Bitmine immersion technology. Look at that freaking IV. That's a beauty, man. 103% IV going down the line. I keep thinking Pizza Hut when I see this. Again, fat people thinking right there, right? But anyway, take cash out. What's the average IV? All right, average IV is 64%. And if you take that percent, you times it by LFGY price, and you divide it by 52 weeks, you get 44 cents. Does that seem too generous? I don't know. What was the last payment? We go over here. It was 44 cents. Okay. Again, I'm going to go with it. Again, why mess around, right? Let's just go with it. Let's paste that special in, and we get 44 cents. That is a 64% yield. Do you like that? I think it's pretty damn good. But hey, man, it is what it is. All right, GPTY, how you doing? Well, I don't know. What are they holding? You know, they hold a little, some of the safer funds. You know, boring Apple, right? Boring. Although AI is not safe. I don't know. I don't think that stock has been doing too fantastic. You figured it would, though. At least AIYY hasn't. I don't know about AI, but I assume it's not that great right now. Amazon, Avgo. You can't go wrong with Avgo. They're always doing well. We got freaking Facebook up on her. Palantir, Tesla. What's this? We got more holdings. Why is that? Oh, it's all bold. We got to unbold this. Copy it all the way down. Okay. All right. So the winner is, we have an average IV. Let me make sure this formula is picking up. Oh, it stops there. Come on, man. All right. So we got to fix this. Guesstimate. Although I got to go over here and make sure these formulas are right. Yeah, we got to pick it up to sell what, 90? Nav, that should be fine. And then this, might as well update that to 90. All right. So what are they paying us? 31 cents. All right. Does that make sense? Their last payment was 29. Their last payment before that was 30. And then the last payment before that was 29. So I'm going to give them, I'm not going to give them 31. I'm going to give them probably 29. Again, I think they try to keep it in line. So it's either 29 or 30. I mean, I guess I'll go in order. 29, 30, 29. Okay, it's time for 30. Nice thinking, right? Hey, we'll take it, right? That would be a 35% yield. All right, I always rush through these because, you know, I don't know, man. I'm going to keep them in line. Again, it's probably going to be a slight decrease for each of them. That's my guess. So if they paid 20, 16, then 19, I'll give them 17 on SDTY. QDTY did 19, 19, 20. Damn, 28? Oof. This was a tough one. I guess 21. 24% yield. And then we got RDTY, 31, 39, 45. Damn. I'm going to go with 38. I think 45 was super high. 44% yield there. All right, Ulti, everyone's favorite lately. Let's see what they're doing lately. What are they holding? Anything cool? Affirm, is that cool? No. Applevin, that doesn't sound cool. AST Mobile, sure, why not? Webull, IV doesn't work. Do they have high IV? I guess we'll never know here. IONQ has high IV. Why is it not picking it up? Very annoying. I feel like I need music for the Sunday video, right? All right, cash is, nothing works here in the damn Ulti freaking thing. All right, whatever. What's the average IV on Ulti? 71%. Again, if you take 71%, although they're going to pay 80%, we know that. But if you take 71%, you times it by the price, divided by 52, you get 7 cents. So let's be real. They're not paying 7 cents. They paid 9 cents. So they finally went under 10 after many, many weeks. So I guess the question is, do they stay at 9 or do they move down to 8? Okay. So if they stay at 9, let's see what that yield is. 82. I mean, let's see what 8 is. 73. Now I'm going to keep them at 9. I think they're stabilizing at this low 80% yield. So again, not much thinking here. Again, the yield 80%. That's it. No reason to dance around it. That's their yield. Again, a lot can happen by the time Wednesday comes. You know, Ulti can jump up in price. Ulti can jump down in price. We don't know. We don't know. But for now, 9 cents. How about that one? How about that? All right, let's look at Chippity Doodah. How you doing, Chippity Doodah? All right, again, bunch of nerd freaking chip companies. Who the hell even knows what they do? They just sell freaking chips, all right? Whatever that means, right? A bunch of nerdy calculators. Texas Instruments. Okay, how are they even still alive, right? We love their calculators, but are they still making calculators? What the hell are they doing? What does Texas Instruments even do anymore? Again, we always knew they had graphing calculators, but I don't know. I should know, but I don't. Whatever. Average IV, 38% for, who is this? Chippity Doodah. So that would come to a 38-cent payment. That's, I don't know, man. Look at the last three, 40, 39. Actually, that's probably right. So I'm going to go with it, 38 cents. Look at that. That would be a 37% yield. Very respectable. All right, time to do Salty. So they, when did they launch? Actually, what? This is picking up what, 825? Why is it not picking it up? They launched on 820. Launch price. Not even working. All right, they launched at 50, right? They launched at $50. So they're down to 48. So I don't think that's going to help anything. So let's take a look at their holdings. What the hell is this at the top? Treasuries at the top. Okay. All right. Again, what are they holding? Whole bunch of crap, you know. BMNR, Astera, but they're shorting stuff, right? Lululemon, bougie as hell, right? But whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's get to the average IV. Oh, damn. There it is. Oh, wow, 80%. You know, so my guess, same thing as Ulti, they're going to try to yield 80%. So 80% yield based on current price, divided by 52 weeks, 75-cent payment. Again, that's for 1 week. Sounds crazy, right? 75-cent payment for 1 week. Is that even right? Let's see. Oh, pain in the ass. Let me see. Guesstimate yield. Let me just make sure this is calculated. All right, so it takes that times 52 divided by P61. What the hell is P61? Current stock price. Okay. All right. So no, I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be 78, maybe. 83. Yeah. Again, I'm just going to assume it's going to yield around what Ulti does. And if they do yield that, they'd be around a 78-cent payment. Again, but what the hell do I know? Nothing. I know nothing. All right. So that's it. That's the guesstimates. May take a quick intermission for a second, play some music, and then go to some questions if you guys are down with that. We got 454 of you. I'm going to play some music. I'll be right back in a second. Okay, we are back. We are back. All right, so, all right, where are we? I don't know. I don't know. What do we want to look at? Again, Group D did pay last week. Did you guys see the house money numbers? Obviously, you know, Misty, 205%. I know everyone's like selling Misty. I'm buying this. I'm buying that. Okay, okay. You know, let it, do what you want to do, right? But it doesn't matter. Misty has paid you back from inception 205% of the original investment. I mean, is that nuts or what? So, of the people here, either on YouTube or X, what are your thoughts on Misty? You still own it? Type yay if you own it. Type nay if you don't. All right, let's move on. Who else? Again, let's look at the weeklies. We got YMAX 66% house money, YMAG 59% house money, and then we got Ulti 69% house money. So yeah, we're getting there. Again, these weeklies, everyone loves the weeklies, and you should. I mean, it's awesome. Silver Liner says nay, TNA heck yes, yay for Isrado, KC yay. Retire Abroad is thinking about it. Jeff is in. Finney is in. Oh, there's Matt. Hey, Matt, how you doing? 45% of what I used to. Matt, you bought at inception. I know you did. So you already made 2 times your investment. So it don't matter what you do at this point, right? I'm just curious, where'd you put the money? Yay for MM. Yay for Carla. Yeah for Eric. Yay for Lynn. Yay for Charles. Yay for Brad. All right. Everyone mostly in for the most part. 2K at 41% house money. Yeah. Only 67% house money. That's okay. I mean, that's still, where else do you get 67% of your investment back at such a short period of time, right? Israel, oh, he sold half to buy Ulti. Damn, a lot of love for Ulti. I'm still in Misty. 2000 stuck. What does stuck mean, right? Stuck how? You're not stuck. You can sell whenever you want. But yeah, man, it's down. But Bitcoin, you know, let's look at Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing? 108. It's just chilling at 108. Last night, look at like 10 p.m. it hit 109. 11:45 is at 109. Then it came back down as we approached like 1 a.m. Then it went back up to 109 at like what 5:15 a.m. And then here we are back down and a little up. So, you know, nothing too exciting, unfortunately, lately. But you know, once Bitcoin starts moving its ass, we'll be good. Loving NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA's a great fund as well. Exactly. Matt is house money, baby. There's Ann. Ann says yay. I'm not sure if you want me to say your name. I'll just call you Pilot Fish. Yay. Silver Liner, mostly a weekly collector. What can I say? Hey, you know what, though? The weeklies are, you know, so diverse. They're all diversified, right? Except obviously the Roundhill ones. I'm just talking about the YieldMax ones, the covered call ETF versions. Although, you know, I think I heard on what's his face, Spencer's interview the other day. Spencer Invest, shout out to him. Good dude. I met him in NYC as well. He interviewed, you know, the Mikes, and I heard Mike Venuto say they may do like a pilot and test out having one of the covered call ETFs pay weekly. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. I'm not a fan of that at all, to be honest, but you know, we'll see. Because again, that if they make this instead of groups and they start doing weekly, oh my God, I don't even want to think about it, to be honest. I'm gonna bitch and moan all day. Still holding on, 2% in Misty. Who has a good spreadsheet for total return? Well, my retire now ones, they had that, but they don't. You know, you want you want the dividend in there, so you'll have to use one of the websites. Sweet. I know you had it in your username, but saw the interview. Yep. A lot of people, they don't do the interviews live, and I don't know, man. The one or two times I didn't do an interview live, and it wasn't the same. There's something about being live. It's just such a good feeling, you know. It's just natural too, you know. I don't know. I love live interviews. I don't know. Do you guys feel the same? Do you like the pre-recorded interviews? All right. Let's keep going on the comments. You haven't bought Misty yet. Well, damn, this is a pretty damn good spot, right? MSTR down, Misty down. Uh-oh. Mike and Venus say, ew, what happened? Uh-oh. Blocks, yeah. I'm gonna get that, I think his name's David, onto one of the morning shows, get him up at 6 a.m. Yeah, exactly. Well, you own YieldMax, right? That's a weekly. That's freaking everything. So, yes. See, yeah, the live. Well, to be honest, like, it's not even. I'm at the point. These interviews are for. I don't consider them for me. Sure, I like to start the interview with my own questions, maybe 2-3 questions, but I think the whole point of it is for the following, for you guys, the community, to ask the questions, not just for me. I mean, sure, I can ask you guys in advance, but I don't know. It's not. I hate it. I'm only going to do interviews live. I know believe it or not, the pre-recorded videos on YouTube do better than live. I obviously see that. I've been going live in the mornings. And granted, I'm on X as well, so a lot of the views are shifting to X instead of YouTube, but my view count dropped significantly since I've been going live. Because YouTube does like the premieres when I used to pre-record and put premieres. So I'm going to go back to that a little more. We'll do a few lives here and there, but interviews always live, 100%. Yeah, better crowd energy live for sure. Plus, again, it keeps you on your toes, which I love that, you know, just like now, like I could pre-record this all day. And it's like, who am I talking to? Myself. Really good live on X. Let's keep going. A lot of comments. Wolf likes them live. I enjoy your live interviews and you going on spaces. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't do enough spaces. I like to just go on other people's spaces. I know it's the lazy way, but I don't, half the time when I'm doing it, I'm in the freaking car, so I'm not going to be running the spaces. I'm driving. Mike and Venus say live is always better. Oh, AMRK, thank you for the good work. A question, please. Don't you think that YieldMax should limit the number of Misty shares issued to give a chance for the price to pick up, unless the regulations does not allow that? Well, the quick answer is no, it does not allow that, right? Because everything is equally weighted. But I would definitely, if they even had the option, I would say, hell no, we want more Misty now, right? Because we want to get on that recovery bandwagon. Right now, it's about 2.83% weighting of the portfolio, which you could see here. Obviously, they're all around 2-3%ish. It depends until they reallocate, you know, in equally, you know, everything has to be equally weighted. That's the whole point of the YieldMax fund. Hopefully that helps. Well, TNA, you are the queen of spaces. I don't know if you guys see TNA, but she's been co-hosting so many different spaces. She should really, one day, I hope she makes her own. She'll make it big there. All right. LA's out of here. He's got to get to his premiere. Congrats on 6,000 subscribers, LA, by the way. All right, let's just see the comments. Giving some Granite ETFs a shot after watching your interview with him, says Jeff. That's good to hear. I'm sure Will appreciates that. Maybe he's watching, right? Kind of wanting that WPay. Yeah, is that launched this week? That's the Round Hill Fund of Funds. I think that'll be a good one. I don't want them individually, but as a whole, I'm gonna probably jump in. Retire Broad, with your channel subject, the live interviews give us a chance to ask the burning question. Exactly, you know, because what fun is it if you can't even ask your own question? Mike, yes, I can. It'll show you, like right now, you have a YouTube icon. If someone from X asks the question, it would come up with the X next to their name. And then, you know, you could stream elsewhere. You can stream on Instagram and all that crap too. But I think YouTube and Twitter, aka X, are the big ones. Talk to myself and my dog. Hey, dogs rule, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Mono, you're always waking up late, I feel like. You gotta set your alarm. Yeah, there's just so many people on there too. So I try to join, but you know, I don't really have too much to say during those. I'm only, because it's during my gym time, so I try to join like at the end of my workout before I go back to work. And you know, it is fun though. It's more about I'd say let the other people ask the questions, not the same old boring ass YouTubers, right? You know, because we're just gonna say that. If anything, I'll just say something stupid. I don't even ask a question. I'll just make a dumb comment, because you know, try to make it fun, right? Yeah, you gotta get on there, Retire Abroad. Twitter is the way now. It's busy. TikTok live. That's actually a good point. I do have one. I haven't been on it. I did make one though. I would actually, I could probably do that. I didn't even think about that. Because if anything, right, maybe just go live on there as well, and that's all I'll use it for. Because I don't know. I don't want to use another platform, but it's pretty easy on StreamYard to just stream from various places. Say that. Is that for me, Charles? Say that again about YieldMax funds. Well, YieldMax, again, they own all of the covered call ETFs. Once they come out, it's either they add it after the first or second payment. I've seen that happen recently, actually, with BRKB or Berksey, whatever the hell it's called. But they equally weight them, right? So if they own 20-something funds, 30-something funds, it's going to be equally weighted, right? Percentage-wise. So right now it's about 2 to 3% equally weighted. You can see they own AMDY. It's all in order. Babo, GUI, Myrna, Moderni. Although they don't own Myrni directly, they're kind of doing their own positions. You know, is there rhyme or reason for that? I don't know. I think it's all the same in the end, but they do have the option to own the position and do their own covered calls within. AI is doing the same thing. So AIYY, I mean, they're doing it with AI. So then here's another freaking Myrni. Hope that helped, Charles. Do it. All right, let's see. Bought some XBIT. Is that what we call it? XBIT? Cool name. XBIT. Oh, all right, let me turn it down. My bad. Hold on. Freaking mouse. Where is it? I can't even see. The problem is I can't hear it. I'm going to put it down to 20. All right, where are we at here? Okay, we out here. All right, there's ProFast guy. I think he moved. He was on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. All right, let's see. Go again. I'm just going through the comments. It's Sunday. Who cares, man? Cruising along. Yeah, since Mike, you go live on YouTube, might as well just connect X too, right? Because there's so many more viewers there. There's not more. It's just easier to get viewers. That makes sense. Like, just it's easier to get. You know, it's really hard to get subscribers on YouTube. It's not as hard to get followers on Twitter. If it's too loud, you're too old. No, that's good. I like that ProFast guy. Are you rolling your Misty options this week? No, they expired. They expired on Friday, worthless. So what he's talking about is I sold covered calls on Misty, and they expired worthless. So what I'll do is I'll sell more calls on Misty, regardless of the price. I don't care. I'm going to make money on them. Yes, thank you for the reminder. Tomorrow morning, guys, get ready. Are you ready? All right, so if we go here to my live, if I click here for tomorrow, yeah, Labor Day special guest. Some of you may know him. I'm sure most of you do. He's a big, huge Twitter following. He has 100,000 followers on Twitter. He has a big YouTube too. But he's the Bitcoin, the MSTR, and the Misty guy, and he knows, you know, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun conversation. So if you're willing to, you know, stop partying a little early tonight and set the alarm, wake up, I'd be happy to have you. You know, if you guys have any questions, again, it's going to be a community interview. Back to the whole live thing. It's going to be an interview for you guys to ask questions. All right, let me see what we got. Any other comments? Silver Liner, yeah, man, I hear you. We're all freaking old here, ancient. Well, yeah, nah, I know. That's why he was like, sure. But to me, honestly, why not take advantage? Why not do it? You know, it's Labor Day. What we freaking do, right? I know, obviously, it's hurting myself. Probably gonna have less viewers, but I'm good. This is not really work to me. This is like, you know, it is work, but especially the interviews, it's just fun, you know, just talking to people. What's the big deal? Not a fan. It's all good. You don't have to like everyone. I get it. All good. Thanks for the honesty. I did meet him in the city. He was a good dude, though. So just so you guys know, if you care. All right, what do we got? We got anything else, or are we just like wrapping it up? Let's go back here. Again, I got some house money percentages. I don't know if you guys can see. Highest house money, Misty, then NVIDIA. So, you know, GOAT 1, GOAT 2. Awesome. GOAT 3, Coney. GOAT 4, Platy. GOAT 5, XYZY. Is that a surprise? All right, what else we got here? I'm just chilling. We care? Care about what? Okay. Follow-up question. Sorry, I meant the outstanding shares of Misty itself. If they limit it for some time, then the price may not pick up if demand comes back. Otherwise, if they keep issuing shares, they limit the upside. Okay, you kind of lost me here. But obviously, when people buy into the fund, you know, for Misty, they're going to add to the synthetic position, right? So if you go to the Misty Holdings, increase the font, right? So you're talking about limiting the outstanding shares. This means that nobody can buy into it. Is that what you're saying? I mean, that's kind of how I'm reading this, but I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe just clarify, because I have no idea what you're talking about. They're not going to limit who. They're not going to stop people from buying into the fund. All right, let's see. Family here, gotta go. See you later. Retire abroad. Yeah. Hey, do what's best for you, Silverliner. Whatever makes you feel good. Thanks for stopping by, Matt, as always. All right. I'm waiting for the follow-up on the question from AMRK or whatever. Yeah, AMRK. I'll answer your question. Then maybe we'll call it a day. We're 56 minutes in. Got to drink some coffee here. But yeah. We got what, 591 joining. Should we go through the guesstimates? What we declare? What we my first live. I enjoyed it. All right, thank you. Appreciate the feedback. Do you like the lives like this? Just chill. Again, I just do the video and then just kind of cover some questions if I have the time. So Rory Hawk, if you have any questions for me while you're here, if this is your first live, feel free. Silverline is super active in the chat today. I like it. Look at that, Rory getting the nice welcome from the wrenches. You know, you got to be nice to the wrenches because they have the wrench after all. All right, still waiting for that follow-up question on AMR, and I'll probably call it a day. But let's see. For those of you that came late, I'll be nice. Where the heck is Group A? I'm going to do it real quick. All right. TSLY, 43 cents, 71% yield. ORC, 35 cents, 52% yield. GUI, 46 cents, 44% yield. Zomo, 28 cents, 29% yield. YBIT, 55 cents, 73% yield. Snowy, 85 cents, 65% yield. TSMY, 57 cents, 48% yield. Berk C, 73 cents, 19% yield. RBLY, first payment, 203, 50% yield. Crash, 17 cents, 53% yield. Feet, smelly ass feet, $1.21, 46% yield. FIVY, 91 cents, 31% yield. Now we go down to the weeklies. YMax, 13 cents, 55% yield. YMAG, 12 cents, 43% yield. LFGY, 44 cents, 64% yield. What do we got? GPTY, 30 cents, 35% yield. SDTY, not STDY, 17 cents, 19% yield. QDTY, 21 cents, 24% yield. RDTY, 38 cents, 44% yield. Ulti, 9 cents, 82% yield. Chippity Doodah, 38 cents, 37% yield. And then Salty, 78 cents, 83% yield. Oh, yeah. All right, how was that for quick? All right, let's see. Catching up. Where we at? Okay. Got that wrench. Who else deserves a wrench? You should cover Roundhill. They pay more. They pay more. Do they yield more? They pay more probably because their price is higher. But do they yield more? And I know, I really know, I do know, and I said I was going to add them to the guest in the video, and I never did, but it's on the list, all right? Because they're really easy to cover. It's really simple. Freaking leverage fund. What is it, 120%? Very simple, actually. It's just they pay weekly, so you got to track, you know, the dividend every single freaking week. All right, here we go. AMR. I mean, they can buy from other holders, right? Like regular supply. No, it's not like the regular, you know, equity stocks, right? It's not like Apple. You know, you're not buying and selling for whatever, you know, they're going to sell it at. You're buying and selling with the fund, right? You're buying from the fund, right? You're selling, when you sell it, the fund pays you. right? That all comes from the NAV, and the price that you're buying at is typically should be around the NAV, which is the value of the fund. ETFs work a little differently than regular stocks. So I guess, in short, just think of these completely different than like the Apples, the Nvidias, the equity stocks, the individual company stocks. ETFs are a little different. Silver liner, yes. Remind me when I do a premiere, because right now I'm not on. I can't pull it up because it'll be echoing. Although TNA, see if it lets you give Silver Liner a wrench. Give them there's two settings. It's the lower setting. If not, I'll try it later. All right. I used to wrench for Jordan before he came Wolf. Oh, okay, cool. I like him. He's a good dude. He's a trader, day trader. I think it's still on. If not, and when for yeah. I think that's coming up, but hopefully if they're not included, hopefully we don't drop like bad, You think any of it's priced in already? That would suck. I need a second. You know what? Let me give you a wrench, Silver. I do have a phone. I forgot after all. Okay, you're good. Type something, Silver. You should have a wrench now. Did it from the phone. It was easier. All right. Eric says, I need a second YieldMax fund. Can you give me 2 to research to diversify? Well, let's look at the house money per day percentages. Let's look at the top 5. So these are the top 5 house money. How much they've paid back per day, what it calculates to. Misty's ranked 1, Hui's ranked 2, Palladi's ranked 3, Coney's 4, and Nvidia's 5. If I was to say what is the safest one out of these 5, to be honest, I'd probably say Nvidia. Like safe, like less, less shifts. I don't know. Misty, obviously, I'm a believer in Bitcoin, but Bitcoin could still keep dropping and going down. Robinhood, again, very volatile. They're, and just like Palantir and Coinbase, again, forget about it. So Nvidia, I consider them like in a way safe like Apple, but not so much, but they are gigantic, if that helps. Can you get a silver wrench? Yeah. Okay. Mike gave you a wrench. All right. You're welcome, AMR. I'm glad we were able to answer your question, so that's good. There it is. All right, Silver Liner made it. Now, Silver Liner, you just gotta, now you have to behave. Now they have a wrench because you're a face of the channel now. No, I have not. I know who you're talking about, though. I like his channel. He's a Canadian investor, though, so which I guess is fine too, right? So I mean, that's a good idea actually. So maybe I'll reach out to him at some point. You guys watch him? Okay, yes it does. A1 steak. You're making me freaking hungry. If the NAV stock price erodes more than the dividend, sorry. You are really making a return on investment. Was that supposed to make sense? Well, obviously, yeah, if the stock goes down more than the dividend, well, again, when they pay the distribution, it's going to drop by the distribution. So if the stock is only going by, down by the distribution, yeah, you'll get return of capital at that point. For the most part, it depends when you buy it. So, but not sure what you're getting at. But yeah, each fund is different. Some perform better than others, obviously. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Coming up full year, all my distros exceed the NAV drop. I always behave on YouTube. It's when I leave YouTube. Yeah, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. But hey, that means you're one of us, right? You can only behave for so long. All right, we're an hour and 6 minutes in. We got 671 people listening. Oh, and then Kieran had to join. See, now we can't leave. Kieran, what's your question of the day? You got any questions? That's what we're doing. We're doing Q&A, and we're just hanging out, and we're doing whatever. We're just doing whatever. All right. So what do we want to talk about? Nothing, right? We're done. Are we done? Say it. We're done. Do we want to give a shout out to any YouTubers while we're still live and we have 682 people listening? Better Call Paul. You want to give him a shout out? Kieran's in Cancun. No invite? Oh, man, that's messed up, Kieran. Wolf always wants to be done, man. I think he wants to take a nap. But he does watch every YouTuber, so he is like the biggest, YouTube supporter here. If I go in a premiere somewhere, he's there. Is done word of the day? Yes, it is pretty much. All right. Anyway, as always, guys, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, then I don't know what to tell you. All right. I got nothing. All right. So if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have questions, leave them down below. If you want to help out the channel further, feel free to share this video on either the social media platforms or, all the other things, or their friends and family, all that jazz. All right. So we're getting to the keyword time. So keyword time, maybe I'll plug my own video, right? What do you think? So tomorrow, again, Labor Day. I know people don't want to wake up, but we work here. All right. We work over here, and retire on dividends because we want to retire on dividends. So tomorrow morning, keyword today is 6 a.m. Labor Day. All right. That's a reminder. 6 a.m. Labor Day. I know that's a lame ass keyword, but I just want to remind you guys that I will be live tomorrow morning for the morning show with Rod with special guest British Hodl. And trust me, you guys will be entertained. All right. You will. Pro Fast Guy. Yeah, I'll do a post Pro Fast Guy on X of who the next I'll call it content creator you guys want me to have, and I'll try to book them. All right. And then you can answer there if you want. Okay. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to say the keyword. And the keyword is 6 a.m. Labor Day. Simply means if you guys are going to, if you want to help support the channel, show up tomorrow morning. And again, he's a Bitcoin guy. And, I myself lack Bitcoin knowledge for sure. So I'll have some questions. I hope you guys have some questions. He's also very familiar with MSTR and Misty. So it's just a, perfect fit, good interview. It's going to be fun. Again, it's 6 a.m. Labor Day. I get it. I know. But why not start your day early? Watch the video, then go out for a run. Go to the gym, Start nice and fresh. All right. Anyway, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for watching and have a great day. Peace.